You know, there's a quiet revolution happening right now, and it's not in some boardroom. It's happening at your kitchen table in home offices all over the world. There's this massive battle raging between companies that are demanding everyone come back to the office and, well, the millions of us who've built our lives around remote work and are just not giving it up.
And this is the battle cry. This leaked memo from Dell laid it all out. The message? Crystal clear. Get back to your desk. Full-time. No exceptions. This wasn't a suggestion, it wasn't a friendly ask, it was a mandate. And it sent absolute shockwaves through the entire industry.
So, how did Dell's super-skilled remote workers react? Well, a staggering 50% of them basically said, no thanks. Think about that. Half the staff was willing to give up promotions, to literally stall their careers just to keep their flexibility. But here's the thing. This isn't just a Dell story. Not even close. It's a sign of something much, much bigger. A full 76% of all workers say they would quit their jobs tomorrow if their remote options were taken away. That is not a bluff. That is a line in the sand.
In this slide right here, this just perfectly sums up what we're calling the Great Disconnect. You've got 83% of CEOs trying to turn back the clock, while 76% of their own employees are ready to walk right out the door. This isn't just a simple disagreement, it's a fundamental clash over the future of work itself. So, with all this pressure coming from the top, you'd probably think remote jobs are drying up, right? I mean, that's the story you hear from the C-suite. But the actual data? Oh, it tells a very, very different story.
Just look where the talent is going. For every single application for an in-person job, there are 2.6 applications for a remote one. People are voting with their resumes, and the verdict is in. Flexibility wins hands down. Companies that ignore this are just fishing in a tiny little pond.
And despite all the headlines you see about return to office, the reality is that over a third of all job openings globally are now either hybrid or fully remote. And we're not talking about niche gigs anymore. We're talking millions of high-paying, career-making jobs.
And if you had any shred of doubt about what people actually want, well, this chart ends the debate. 48% want hybrid. Another 26% want fully remote. You add that up, that's nearly 3 out of every 4 people looking for a job right now who are putting flexibility first. The demand is just undeniable. Okay, so the demand is there. We get it. But where are the real opportunities? You know, the careers that offer the whole package. Flexibility, a great salary, and actual long-term growth? Well, let's break down the blueprint for a totally remote-proof career. So let's kick it off with a classic, the software engineer. I mean, with salaries that can easily top 200 grand and growth projected at 24%, these jobs are basically bulletproof. It's got to be one of the most secure and in-demand remote jobs on the planet. And here's where it really hits home. Take a guy like Marcus Chen. He was a developer in San Francisco, his company went remote, so he packed up and moved to Austin. He kept his huge salary, but his rent was cut by more than half. That one move put over $26,000 back in his pocket every single year. That's not just a raise, that's life-changing money. Now, if you want to talk about just explosive growth, look no further than data science. Yeah, the 6-figure salary is awesome, but that growth number, 304%, no, that's not a typo. It's because every single company is drowning in data and they're desperate for people who can make sense of it all. And here's the best part. You can totally pivot into this. Take Sarah Martinez. She was stuck in a $68,000 office job. She spent 8 months learning the skills, Python, SQL, you name it. And the result? She nearly doubled her salary and now she works from Barcelona. That's not just a new job, that's a whole new life. And then you've got cybersecurity. The salary is fantastic, obviously. But the real story is that number on the right, $4.8 million. That's how many unfilled cybersecurity jobs there are in the world right now. The demand is so huge and the talent is so scarce, companies will pay top dollar for anyone who can protect them, no matter where they are. And honestly, the list just keeps on going. Cloud architects, DevOps engineers, product managers, UX designers, machine learning engineers, even high-level sales directors. All of these are high-paying, super in-demand jobs that are, you guessed it, almost always remote-friendly. So look, this isn't just about a few cushy tech jobs. What we're seeing is a fundamental change in how the economy works. The old rules are out the window, and there's a new global marketplace for talent. Let's dig into why this isn't just a trend, it's a permanent shift. It really just boils down to a simple win-win.
Companies save a ton of money, about 10 grand a year for every remote employee, on things like office space. And what do we get? We get back 72 minutes every single day. That's over 300 hours a year. It's a powerful incentive on both sides of the table.
And this is the ultimate remote work cheat code. It's called geographic arbitrage. It's a simple but powerful idea. You earn a big salary that's tied to an expensive city like New York, but you live somewhere with a much lower cost of living. This is exactly how people like Marcus are literally hacking their finances.
So let's just be really clear here. When half of the entire US workforce is already working remote or hybrid, we have to stop calling it a trend. It's not. It's the new baseline. This is just how modern work works.
And this new baseline is splitting the market right down the middle. On one side, you have the old school companies, and they're losing all their best people. On the other, you have the smart, flexible companies who are just scooping up all that amazing talent. The market is literally sorting businesses into winners and losers right before our eyes.
So this all brings it back to you. This isn't just some report about the economy. It's a map of the new world of work. And you are standing at a crossroads. The choice you make right now could honestly define the entire rest of your career.
And you want to know the absolute best part about this new world? The barrier to getting these incredible jobs isn't some fancy degree anymore. It's skills. Real, provable skills. Companies care more about what you can do than where you went to school. If you learn the tools and build a portfolio, you can compete with anyone from anywhere.
So here's the bottom line. The market is splitting in two. You can stay on the side with the rigid, old-fashioned office, or you can jump into this new global marketplace of opportunity where your talent is what matters, not your zip code. So the question is, which side are you going to choose?
Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. It's not just about the money or even the location. It's about getting back those 72 minutes a day, those 300 hours a year. It's about owning your life. Because time, well, time is the one thing you can never, ever buy back.